Good day. It is with humility and a deep sense of responsibility that I, Adefunke Adeyemi, begin my renewed mandate to serve as Secretary General of the African Civil Aviation Commission, AFCAC, for the second term from today, the 1st of September 2025, through to the 31st of August 2028. This new chapter is not only a personal honor, but also a collective call to action, building on the progress and achievements of the past 3 years while embracing the ambitious goals set out for us and outlined from the 35th plenary resolutions of AFCAC and the 2025 to 2027 strategic work program. Reflecting on the first term over these past 3 years, AFCAC has been repositioned as a more dynamic and impactful institution, aligning with its mandate as the specialized agency of the African Union and the executing agency of the Yamoussoukro decision, as well as the champion of the single African air transport market. In the field of air transport, liberalization has been top of our agenda. We intensified advocacy and action for the accelerated implementation of the Single African Air Transport Market, SATAM. A highlight of these efforts through the SATAM PIP, which is the pilot implementation project launched in 2022, is that over 108 new routes are being operated now in Africa since 2022, of which 19 are Fifth Freedom routes, increasing from 14.5% in 2028 to 23% in 2024, demonstrating the commercial viability of SATAM. In addition, the SATAM PIP air shows held across 11 African states, but covering over half of the continent, not only showcased the opportunities of liberalized skies, but also helped address practical challenges to liberalization faced by governments and operators alike. Finally, we also focused on harmonizing the regulatory framework for the consistent implementation of the Yamoussoukro decision to engender and enable a single African air transport market. In terms of safety and security, we collectively advanced Africa's performance on ICAO's audits for both safety and for security. On safety, the continent's effective implementation score improved from 58% in 2022 to 62.2% in 2025, about an increase of 5%, demonstrating measurable progress in regulatory oversight. Equally significant, Africa's accident rate declined from 4.62 accidents per million departures in December 2022 to 3.39 per million by December 2024. Again, a tangible testament to our joint efforts on safety. And of course, we were able to support African states with 35 technical assistance missions through our African and Indian Ocean Cooperative Inspectorate Scheme, otherwise known as the AFCAC scheme, delivered through regional cooperation and unwavering commitment to safe skies. And finally, we also revised the Abuja safety targets, which have now been validated by our member states and will be implemented going forward from 2026. On the issue of infrastructure and infrastructure development, AFCAC worked closely with the African Union Commission, with ICAO, IATA, and other key stakeholders to deliver the 2023 Aviation Infrastructure Gap Analysis. This vital study gathered critical data from 41 member states and identified 60 infrastructure gaps, which are now being addressed through a framework of prioritized bankable projects developed by African experts. Looking ahead, passenger air traffic to, from, and within Africa is projected to increase at an average annual rate of 4.32%, rising from 160 million passengers in 2024 to approximately 469 million by 2050. This anticipated and exponential growth underscores the urgent need to strengthen infrastructure and operational capacity on the African continent. And the gap analysis revealed key areas requiring priority attention. Addressing these challenges will be essential to meet the projected traffic demand and growth, and will also remain a central focus in this new triennium. Over the past 3 years, Africa has also made remarkable progress in aviation security and facilitation. The continent has recorded a significant increase in effective implementation rates under the ICAO Audit for Security, reflecting substantial advancements in the application of ICAO's Annex 17 standards and recommended practices, as well as the security provisions of ICAO's Annex 9. Starting from 61.90% in 2021, the effective implementation of African states in security increased to 63.86 by 2024, demonstrating steady growth and consistent improvement, and also underscoring the sustained commitment of states to enhancing aviation security performance. AFCAC has played a pivotal role in supporting these achievements through targeted technical assistance and capacity building initiatives. Similar to the AFCIS and under the AFDB project to AFCAC, the operationalization of the AFCES, which is the Cooperative Expert Scheme, assistance has been highly successful in mobilizing skilled African experts to support states facing aviation security challenges. To date, more than 28 AFCES technical assistance missions have been delivered to our member states, addressing security gaps and reinforcing compliance. And this success has been enabled by the active participation of our member states, which have made their experts available to support fellow states, demonstrating effective regional collaboration and the power of leveraging African expertise. In addition to technical assistance, AFCAC has also continued to support ICAO through the AFI Plan and AFI SecFile Plan, and will be contributing towards the development of these plans going forward as being part of the steering committee of the plans. Another key milestone under security is the launch of the AFCAC Seamless Security Initiative, with 4 pilot states, which has generated strong interest across the continent and already led to significant progress towards establishing seamless security arrangements, both within Africa and with partners beyond the region. This, combined with the continued success of the AFCES assistance scheme, demonstrates AFCAC's strategic role in mobilizing African expertise, in strengthening regional collaboration, and in supporting states in addressing evolving aviation security challenges. Moving now to the field of environmental protection, Africa has also made remarkable strides in aligning with and contributing to the global sustainability agenda. A landmark achievement has been the launch of the African Continental Initiative on Sustainable Aviation Fuels, SAF, and Lower Carbon Aviation Fuels, LCAF. This initiative has now matured into the African Continental Strategy for SAF and LCAF for 2025 to 2050, which is a strategic framework that positions Africa to speak with one voice, to act with one purpose, and to build on ICAO's work in decarbonizing international aviation. The strategy has not only raised awareness amongst African states, but also has triggered concrete actions. Increasingly, African states are putting in place the necessary policy and regulatory frameworks to support SAF and LCAF development, production, and deployment, to ensure that no country and no continent and no company is left behind. This unified approach has further enhanced Africa's visibility in global forums and in terms of the number of African experts participating in ICAO's technical panels and working groups, which has grown significantly, strengthening Africa's influence in shaping international aviation policies. Regarding the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation, or CORSIA, implementation, AFCAC has spearheaded advocacy and capacity building that has yielded tangible results. From 2022 to 2025, the number of African states volunteering to participate in CORSIA grew by 35%. Today, about 50% of African states are participating in the scheme, signaling Africa's strong commitment to the only global market-based mechanism for international aviation emissions. Equally significant, Africa has achieved a historic milestone with the establishment of the first African verification body and a CORSIA verifier accredited in Africa, a development that ensures African airlines can now access homegrown compliance solutions, reduce costs, and build capacity locally. In just 3 years, we have also submitted 12 revised state action plans for CO2 emissions reduction to ICAO, working with these 12 states and emphasizing the increased role of SAF and LCAF in aviation decarbonization. We have also trained over 120 experts from at least 45 African states on diverse aspects of environmental protection and successfully coordinated and retained the CAPE Vice Chair position for Africa, ensuring Africa's voice is consistently represented at the highest technical levels. These achievements reflect not only progress in numbers, but also strategic impact on the resilience, competitiveness, and sustainability of African aviation. Together, they reinforce Africa's determination to shape its own pathway towards a sustainable future, while contributing meaningfully to global aviation's climate ambitions. In terms of capacity building, which is a cornerstone of AFCAC's strategic priorities, we successfully resuscitated the Human Resource Development Fund, restoring its role as a central mechanism for aviation training and scholarships based on member states' needs. In partnership with the African Aviation Training Organization, ATO, we have advanced the use of regional centers of excellence to deploy these trainings to African states, using harmonized training hubs across the continent. We proudly also have launched the AWAYA initiative, which is the African Women and Youth in Aviation Initiative. It's transformative to empower young professionals and women leaders in Africa. Together with a business school in Spain, IATIERA, we have also created new scholarship opportunities, opening pathways for Africa's next generation of aviation professionals. Finally, in terms of institutional renewal and digitization, we have strengthened AFCAC's governance and engagement with our member states while laying the foundation for digital transformation and innovation through a management information system and essential tools to modernize oversight and improve transparency and efficiency. Now, looking ahead to the next 3 years, from September 2025 to August 28, this next chapter builds on past achievements, but also calls for more profound transformation and action in line with the priorities of our member states and what is needed for African aviation to be transformed. We will continue to pursue accelerated SATAM implementation, expanding the momentum generated by the SATAM pilot implementation project. These platforms have already highlighted the commercial and connectivity potential of connectivity and Fifth Freedom routes, and also our next task is to institutionalize these gains, ensuring broader participation, more involvement by member states, and greater uptake by airlines. On safety and security, our ambition is to raise Africa's collective implementation scores, but also safety culture well beyond the current figures of 62.2%, while consolidating the decline in accident rates. We will expand technical assistance through regional collaboration and also support states in closing oversight gaps. At the same time, we will ensure that Africa maintains robust and harmonized aviation security systems, protecting passengers and operations. On environmental sustainability, we will accelerate on our work on SAF and LCAF and other carbon mitigation measures, enabling African aviation to align with global long-term emission goals while ensuring that our continent's unique circumstances are fully recognized. For capacity building and human capital, the revitalized HRDF will be fully operationalized. We will continue to strengthen the centers of excellence with ATO while scaling up AWIRE and expanding the different scholarship and fellowship programs, as well as supporting this diverse group of women and youth on our continent through mentorship, sponsorships, coaching, as well as intense and targeted capacity building to build a diverse, skilled, and future-ready workforce. Another significant focus will be digital transformation and innovation, not just for AFCAC, but also for our member states. And we will establish a comprehensive information system within the Secretariat, as well as provide member states with tailored IT tools or support wherever necessary to enhance regulatory oversight, data management, and evidence-based decision-making. At the institutional level, AFCAC will consolidate its role as a financially sustainable, accountable, and results-driven organization that remains a trusted partner to our member states and a respected voice in global aviation. Finally, anchoring our work on vision and values, this new mandate is guided by AFCAC's vision of a safe, secure, sustainable, and fully liberalized African air transport system. Our mission remains to serve as the operational arm of the African Union in aviation, ensuring that commitments are translated into measurable outcomes. The values of integrity, inclusivity, excellence, accountability, and collaboration will shape our path forward. As a closing commitment, I would like to say that the next 3 years will be decisive for Africa's aviation future. The progress we have made together demonstrates what is possible when we act in unity and with a shared purpose. The foundation has been laid, the priorities are clear, and the opportunities are immense. Together, we will accelerate SATAM, enhance safety and security, champion environmental sustainability, and empower Africa's women and youth while continuing to build our capacity. By doing so, we will ensure that aviation remains a powerful force for good for Africa and a driver of Africa's integration, growth, and global resilience. Thank you.